Hey guys, I'm Maxadrums. Welcome into this drum lesson where we will break down the verse groove of Karnivool's song Goliath. It's an awesome groove that might seem a bit unusual to some people, mainly because it's in both odd time signature and it changes meters. So the way I like to view odd times is not that some of us associate the word odd with that it's uncommon or weird. I more like to think it of as that it's an odd number, as in 5, 7, 9, etc. Because there aren't really any weird time signatures. It's more that we're not used to them yet because we play so much in 4/4, for instance. So it's just about us getting comfortable in those time signatures, as comfortable as we are in 4/4, for example. So hopefully I will break it down in a way that you can grasp this specific song a lot better, and maybe overall just the odd time signatures. So this specific song alternates between 7/4 and 6/4. And that kind of movement is what makes it even crazier when you're trying to transcribe it or understand what's going on. So it's 3 bars of 7/4 and then 1 bar of 6/4. So 7/4, 7/4, 7/4, 6/4, repeat. And it keeps going like that. So in order to break this down, let's focus on how it's divided. The 7 is, whenever you have odd time signatures, it's usually divided in a specific way that you can feel it. So a 7 is usually 2, 2, 3, or maybe 4, 3, etc. So basically you have a 4/4 and a 3/4 in the 7/4. If you go listen to some odd time music, you can probably feel that that's how you can find the pulse. And it's usually the way you feel the music in general. So what we will be doing is breaking it down to the 4/4 and the 3/4 of the 7/4 odd time signature. So let's start off by playing the groove, very simple. Another thing that's going on here is that lots of notes are anticipated or pushed, as they're called, which makes it another confusion for our head, especially in this odd time signature world. So let's start simple. Let's play the 3/4 and slow it down a little bit and play it without any pushed notes. So here we go, 100 BPM, 3/4. So I suggest you just repeat that over and over until you get comfortable with the 3/4, and there's no pushed notes or anticipated notes yet, which makes it much easier to comprehend. And once you're comfortable with this, let's go ahead and look at the 4/4. Alright, so far there's nothing that crazy going on, right? It's just a 4/4 and a 3/4 broken down very easily. So the next step will be starting to push or anticipate the downbeat of 1. And I'll show you how that goes on. So I'll play you 4 bars where I don't push it, and then 4 bars where I push it. Let's start with the 3/4, slow down. Okay, so now let's do the same thing with the 4/4. I'll play 4 bars without pushing, and then 4 bars where I push or anticipate the downbeat of 1. I'll play this slower too. Alright, so once you got that down, it's time to speed it up. So let's do the 3/4, 4 bars without pushing, and then 4 bars pushing at the original tempo. Alright, and the next step is of course to do the same thing with the 4/4 in the original tempo. Okay, so now we're able to feel these in 3/4 and in 4/4 separately, which is really good. We can loop them and we can push the notes without getting lost. So now it's time to put them together. This might seem a bit weird at first, but just make sure you count. So let's put a 3/4 and a 4/4 next to each other and keep repeating those. 3/4 and 4/4 together will make a 7/4. So either you count up to 7 or you count the subdivisions by themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then repeat. So let's do that now in the original tempo. Okay, now let's do the same thing, but after 4 bars of 7/4, let's start anticipating the notes. Okay, so now we're able to play the 7/4 repeatedly, but as I explained at the beginning of this lesson, this song structure is a 7/4, 7/4, 7/4, 6/4, and then it repeats those 4 bars. So I'll show you guys how you do it, and I'll add a crash so you can see when we looped around, and you guys just follow along. Alright guys, so now we're able to play the basic groove of this song as well as the time signatures. So there's just a couple more things missing. First of all, in order to make this sound like the original track, we have to add some hi-hat openings. So if you think of it as the 3/4, 4/4 structure, the hi-hat openings will be on the second beat of the 4/4 bar. Alright, sweet. So there's only one more thing now missing before we got the bass groove with all of the details done, and that is the ghost notes. So let's add the ghost notes and you can follow along. So the main challenge with this groove is mainly just the time signatures and anticipating or pushing all of the notes. The groove per se isn't that tricky, so I suggest you go ahead and practice this, or maybe you already have this down, that would be awesome. So there's only one more thing to make it exact as the original track, which is adding small extra accents and hi-hat openings, etc. So I'll go ahead and play them, and if you have any questions about it, just ask me and I can put it in a tab for you or something like that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson.